Welcome to the Scandal Podcast.
Hi.
I am your hostess, Jaha Knight, and I'm joined today by the A-Team. I didn't know what y'all said when we went live. So introduce yourselves, ladies.
Hi, I'm Olivia Linden, author of the Jaded Heart series. You can find me at vialinden.com.
I am Katrina Pavela. I blog over at katrinapavela.tumblr.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at #1feeling. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Elde'a Harris, and you can find me on Twitter at JanetTammerFan. Hi.
And of course, you all know me. I'm Jaha Knight, and I'm an author as well. You can find my books all over the place. So anyway, today we are here to talk about the Flesh and Blood episode of Scandal. So how do y'all like the episode?
It was
What
dark.
Do you think so? I didn't think it was dark.
I thought it was a little dark.
Why?
All the killing.
Yeah, there was some killing and
bodies falling out on the floor and
some really porny sex.
Yeah, fucking hot. I was like,
some
really stank,
the
nasty, hot,
filthy McNasty.
life and danger.
But that's just another day in Scandalverse. Y'all know that. Right? So I'm like, what? Dark? What? This is normal.
Par for the course.
Exactly. So what were your three big moments, Elde'a, since you said it was dark? What were your three big moments?
My three big moments were the Olivia and Melly scene. I don't think Liv has put together what has happened, but she now knows something has happened, so that was a bit of a light bulb. My other big moment was actually Cyrus at the end not calling Leo or Sally or anybody and letting them know that the bomb was at the church. That's really dirty, Cyrus. That's really dirty and shady, but so Cyrus-like. Yep. And then my other big moment was actually Olivia and Jake phone call. That I thought that was a big moment.
Yeah.
What about you, Katrina?
I actually loved a lot of those moments. Actually, all of those moments I had on my list, but I always put like some extras down because I love little things as well. I liked the Olitz phone call because of how it spoke to some previous episodes. Like it's recalled 211, so A Criminal, a Whore, an Idiot, and a Liar. You know, the eve of Fitz's first election, and basically the last thing his father says to him is, "You ain't shit. You ain't never gonna be shit." To me, and then he dies like the next day, right? And that was their last conversation. And then also in 221. When they're in Fitz's bedroom at the White House, and Olivia's like, "I know you think you're not good enough because your father made you feel like that, and I also took that chance from you, and you're not a legitimate president, so you have to run and you have to win." And here he is panicking about getting out there and getting votes because it's so close to election, and she recognizes that emotion in him and connects the dots that it's the 4-year anniversary of his father's death, and he's probably feeling just panicky and stressed and not very good about himself. So I love that a lot. And then that girl, Mackenzie Miller, is like a little Melly in training.
Yeah.
I love that moment because I was like, Mackenzie, you're really fucking it up for white girls everywhere. Because I mean, when white girls get into Harvard, how am I gonna know it's not because they were blackmailing someone or stealing their sperm? I mean, really, you're just messing it up for your own kind. Seriously,
yeah.
How am I gonna know you're legitimate? And also, the last thing I loved... Oh, I actually really like the hot, dirty, filthy, McNasty sex with Huck and Quinn. I mean, kudos to Katie and Guillermo. They went for that shit. They were all the way in each other's mouths.
Yeah.
Slapping.
He spit on her.
I know. Ugh.
I was just like, not again. God,
No.
not again.
No.
Oh, it was some
When he
pervy.
grabbed her face.
Yeah. And she kept slapping the shit out of him. The aggression, because they're sharing that moment. And you have kind of this anger, and they just needed to get it out there. You know what I mean? And just like quash it. Now I'm really curious as to how things are going to develop for them, because I just really don't see them being like a couple. But that moment, I'll allow it.
I'm going to say that out of all of the sex scenes on Scandal, that was the only one I found hot. Like,
I agree.
I was smoking. About me?
It was smoking. No. Oh my God. Let me tell you, I was afraid, like, of even bringing that up, because I was like, people are gonna be like, "What do you like?" I'm like,
I like that.
Yeah. I'm like, I did write an essay called "Dominance and Submission" about Olivia.
Sometimes you gotta just be what you are. You just gotta be. So
no, I love the pure aggression in that, and just tearing shit off, and just being raw, and so that was kind of out there for Scandal. The last time I had that reaction to like a moment was actually the I think it was 304 when they were in court. They had the client who was showing his penis on like Twitter, and they were reading out all these tweets and stuff from him.
Yeah,
and it was like some dirty shit. It's like a lot of innuendo, but it was really, really like nasty. And I was like, this is on network TV. Hold up.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing all. I don't even know what y'all were talking about. Gladiator in Harlem, you need to stop. Like,
what'd she say?
What is she doing?
What she said was so funny. All I could do was laugh. Like, I couldn't even hear what y'all were saying. She was like, if I never see another spit lick sex scene again, I would you spat on her neck, licked it off, and then, well, you know the rest. I just can't. So then she said, Chow and Jake outed Olivia at OPA in front of everybody, including Fitz and her daddy. Can you say secondhand embarrassment? What?
All the way around the office. I don't want to hear shit from people about Fitz. Jake is gross and disgusting.
Jake only did that. He only did that for Fitz. But what were your 3 moments, Olivia?
They've been covered. They've been covered.
Mine too.
Drunk.
Y'all took them all.
I know. I was like, well, there's all the moments.
Oh, actually, one of mine were. One of mine was.
I do have one.
Oh, Jesus. Go ahead.
When Mama Hope, when she came in at the end, it was like, where is my baby?
Get my baby home.
Get my baby back. I was like, wow, you better get her baby back. You better do what this woman says. Hurry up.
My scene was when Cyrus was talking to Olivia. He was like, oh, really? Oh, I'll try to keep him calm. She's like, wait a minute. Do I hear a chopper? I couldn't stop him, Liv. I couldn't stop him. I was like,
that whole thing was hilarious because Fitz was like on house arrest, okay? And it was funny as shit because Olivia was like, don't you go nowhere. I said, don't go outside. And Cyrus was like, I'm really trying to keep it in. But
Gladiator in Harlem says she sees both Katrina and Olivia.
But I couldn't.
Like a special kind of love. Ain't mad at you. Do you, ladies? Do you? You're crazy.
Well,
girl.
you know.
And the Gladiator in Harlem, thank you so much for all of the tweeting that you do for us. We truly appreciate you. So
yes, girl.
I don't know if I expressed it as well in the last episode, but there you go. And yes, the podcast has started, Otisha. So we're here.
Finally. Sorry.
It's okay. We had technical difficulties. It's fine. We're here now. And everything is lovely. So was the case for this episode? Was there a case for this episode?
Yeah, it was fine in the bomb.
Yes.
And we call that a case?
I know. The cases are just kind of blurring into...
That's one thing I do miss. I mean, I don't really want to get into all this maybe later, but I am ready for the B613 stuff to recede and to get more into overt kind of political shenanigans that we were. I really do feel like it's taken over too much of the show. I know that Shonda was really kind of taken with that idea. And I know the significance of the whole B613 with the kind of political allegories that happen on Scandal, but I do feel like it's too much.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that in order for her to advance the story, she would have had to do this. Like, we would need to know exactly what's going on in the underpinnings of the government in order for her to advance Scandal as a show. So I kind of think it's necessary, not necessarily all of these episodes, but all of the information is necessary. Trying to remove Papa Pope from power, giving Olivia a backstory, because Olivia really did not have a backstory.
Right.
So I kind of see why she's doing it this way. And of course, if Papa Pope is attached to B613, she would have had to delve into that as well. But that's just my opinion. I'm not mad at it. I think season 4 is going to be much more incredible because we'll understand what, the underpinnings. It's like a sandwich.
Right.
You got to put the layers on top of it in order to get a nice little.
I'm not mad at the B613 thing at all. I think the way it came in, starting with Spies Like Us, right? That was the foundation of it, 206. But sometimes it does feel like OPA does nothing else but in service of B613 stuff. And that's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, that is too much. Like, I don't get to see them do other stuff. Olivia's whole time is taken up with Jake and his nonsense, her father and his nonsense, and then, like, well, I shouldn't say nonsense, and then the White House. And I know there's a purpose to all this, like, because once you open a door, you really have to kind of go down some of these alleys. And I hope that with the ending of this season and going into the 4th season, that there's going to be a little bit more balance, that some of this stuff with B613 is really coming to a head, right? And for me, I think that Olivia is wrong for trying to shut down B613, right? Because it does serve a purpose, as we saw through Cyrus and other people, right? Yes.
Yes, because I'm like, girl, this thing you can't know. Yeah.
Right.
No,
there's just some things that we don't.
Especially when she doesn't fully understand what it is. You can't believe into something.
The fairy tales and the pretty language and the Constitution and policy and all of that stuff.
That's all that there is to the government. You have to accept the good and the bad in order for it to work. All of it makes it work. So you can't separate one piece out and think that the car is still going to drive. You can't take the tires off and think the car is still going to drive.
Absolutely.
And there are going to be things that are really, really shitty that happened in organizations like that. And I don't know the extent of the truth, with our Black Ops organization that we have in the U.S., but they are there. Like, that's that's a real thing.
You can understand easily why they're separated from the executive branch, because they need to have plausible deniability. So,
right.
So, since we're going to skip that question about the case, what would have made this episode perfect for you outside of what we just discussed?
Sorry, never mind.
Elde'a, you always first, so come on.
No, but I'm thinking, I was actually going to say like a really simple scene, but if that Harrison with the Liv's father scene could have been longer,
I love that. That was a nod to the fandom. I loved it.
Did he say Uncle Pope at first?
Papa. He said
Papa Pope.
Papa Pope.
Can't call you Papa Pope? Oh.
Can I call you Papa Pope? Okay. That scene, if that scene could have been longer and to see them interact more, I would have enjoyed that. I thought that was a very interesting dynamic, because very quickly you could pick up on the fact that Papa Pope knew what Harrison had done with Adnan.
Exactly.
Because he made reference to it. He was like, "Oh, is that what you do?"
Right. Yeah.
So
financial transactions.
Yeah. Right. So
Right.
I would have loved them to have more interaction throughout the episode.
Yeah.
I want to know what Papa Pope knows about Harrison, because that was pretty telling, that little brief second of time. But I like that Harrison is superfluous. I'm saying it again. They didn't even look. They didn't even check for Harrison at the end of the episode. It was like, huh? They didn't even look for Harrison. Harrison was not even a factor. It's like, you are a non-mother factor, Harrison. Like, seriously, dude? Nobody was even looking for you. You got a gun to your head for OPA, and no one's checking you. No one. It's crazy. What about you, Katrina?
If something could have been longer. I actually, this is so facetious. This just goes back to Fitz being under house arrest kind of thing. I just wanted him at one point just to yell, "I'm an adult!" Like, to all. What to do. That was like my only thing, because there were a couple other scenes where I thought, oh, if the scene didn't exist or it was longer, but there was a part of the scene that I really like, and then there'd be like a part of it that I wasn't here for. That's kind of how I felt about Jake and Olivia phone call, the Melly and Olivia scene.
Right.
Yeah. So very mixed for me.
I have to say, because I was going to say something about you talking about I'm an adult. That scene with Melly and Olivia where she yelled at Olivia, I don't know, but I'm getting feedback, but I'm hearing myself. But the scene when she did that and she was like, I don't remember her exact words, but that just kind of paralleled the whole Fitz is being childish thing to kind of go along to Melly. Don't y'all think? Did y'all see that?
When she was like, "It's my turn!"
Right. Yeah. Like she threw a temper tantrum.
Yeah, and I was like, this kind of
tantrum.
A drunken temper tantrum. That's what that was.
That was cool. What was your moment that you think could have been, that would have made the episode perfect, Olivia?
Well, if the bomb had actually gone off at the end of the episode and killed Sally Langston, it would have been perfect for me.
Olivia stayed trying to murder people.
Wow!
No, just Sally. Just Sally.
It deaded though.
Just Sally.
The beginning of the next episode.
It would kill
I know.
And
Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm a selfish person. I want what I want, and I want Sally dead.
But let me tell you something. I've been saying this for like at least the last week or so, that I was like, oh, I see what they're doing with this bomb. It's a convenient way to get rid of like a handful of characters that we don't need in season 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye.
It's true. And you ain't never coming back.
Bye.
Oh, just like Steven. So they must be going to where Steven is.
Yeah, right. Georgia, right? He's in Georgia.
That's what we're calling it.
Georgia.
What do y'all feel was a game-changing moment from last night?
Oh, yeah.
Game-changing. The Quinn and Huck scene. That's going to be game-changing because they've crossed the line. And so if she comes back next season, if she doesn't come back next season, the fact that they've now crossed that line, they will have to work together in some capacity, whether she's B613, whether she's OPA. That was a game changer. And what is Charlie going to do?
Die now.
Charlie is not stupid. He's going to notice that Robin doesn't have on stockings. I don't know how unobservant Quinn thinks people are, but I mean, hell, you had on stockings and now they are gone. And that is really probably what made the scene so hot, the fact that he ripped them stockings off. I give 3 damns about these stockings.
Drag the panties down. I'm always here for panty dropping on.
I'm always here for stocking ripping. Girl, what? So the stocking ripping had to happen.
Yeah, here for it.
What about you, Katrina?
Mine was actually learning that Rowan was the mark in a set-up marriage with Maya. I was like, oh, so that's how it happened. Because I remember the last episode, Dimitri said to Maya, or Maya said, it's been 22 years. I was like, 22 years? You waited 22 years for this woman, and then your ass got killed. She was like, bye.
She's like, bye.
Bye. And, right? 22 years. Damn. So they made me also, so then learning that he was the mark in that relationship. Obviously, there's like a parallel there with the Grant marriage situation, but it also made me think about Rowan crying on the couch in, I think it was episode 306, in the flashback scene, right? He's looking at the footage on the plane, and I'm like, oh, so you found out a bunch of shit that, when you captured Meyer. She didn't love you. She messed you up, told you there was a bomb on the plane, had you made this boy kill 329 people and just messed you all up, and you have been messed up ever since then, and distrusted love. And as a matter of fact, like he has a great deal of scorn for love, which I think is partly the problem with Fitz and his relationship with Olivia, obviously.
Because he can't believe it,
or he thinks it's going to bring you nothing but trouble, or eventually the person will turn on you. You think they love you, but just you wait, they will gut you, right? Which goes back to what he said to her in 301, about they'll smile in your face and they'll hug you and they'll say this, but as soon as your belly is exposed, they will gut you. That's what the White House will do to you, right? So he's got no love for love at all.
When you said that, are you finished? I'm sorry. Okay. When you said that, I was thinking, because I was going to bring this up about the triangles in Scandal. There are a lot of triangles. Have y'all, do y'all understand what I mean by that? Love triangles, and a lot of parallels. So when you were saying that about Mellie and Fitz, and then you think about Olivia being the third in that triangle, then Rowan understands exactly what that is. He understands it in a deeper way. So I like that.
He might even be slightly jealous.
But they're not the same third.
He wasn't that third. He was the outside.
He was the Mellie third. He wasn't.
So he's probably slightly jealous, because he wishes that he had that, or he ever had that kind of love. He had the fake love from Mama Pope,
which is the Mellie love.
That could fuel probably even more of his disdain, because it's just like, ugh.
Right, and you heard what he said. Do you know what that does to a person, right? And we can see what that does to a person. Through Mellie, though she won't admit it, out loud to anyone. I think she knows. I have I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to voice my opinions on that scene. I might have to just do it on my blog, but I have a lot of problems with Mellie, and I had a lot of problems with that scene with her and Olivia, and I don't know if anything's going to change in the next episode or so.
So Katrina says, stay tuned and get to katrinapavela.tumblr.com. Bring the essay to your ass. She's ready to talk about that on her blog. So she's teasing y'all. Y'all see that? I peeped that. She got a scandal clip at the end of her conversation.
Right?
You know what? I would
shameless plug.
No, it didn't. It wasn't meant to be a tease. I'm actually a little bit frustrated with blogging right now, but I just didn't want to go on for 10 minutes on the podcast about that. I'm like, we're getting off topic. I'll just do that on my blog at some point.
Girl, we always off topic. What you talking about? What was your moment, Olivia, that you felt could have made the episode? Oh, you already told me. You want to kill folks.
I thought you wanted game changer.
That was the game changer.
No, my game changer is at the end when Cyrus was on the phone with Jake, and he said, "Good job," and Jake said, "Thank you, sir." And the smiling faces came on, and you see Cyrus walking around. Everything's falling into place, and he's just got this smuggest little look on his face. I was just like, oh, okay, all right, Cyrus, high five. I'll wait for it.
Speaking of that, now that you bring that up, one of my favorite moments was actually when they played that music, Super Band.
Oh, yes!
Papa Pope came walking into that office.
That was a nice touch.
One of the best entrances. That he got his own entrance.
Yes.
That was awesome. And then when Mama Pope, I knew that was her. I was like, no. I don't want to see it. When she came walking past Quinn and her bumping and grinding on that thing,
I was just like, ain't this? Really?
Really?
That's even more worthless than Harrison last week.
A doornail want to hump on a
Isn't this how it goes in the horror films? The people who are having sex, like,
right? And now you know someone's gonna die. Someone's gonna die now.
When people are fucking, somebody's gonna die.
Yeah. That ain't right.
If you are joining us live, then you can click the Q&A app in front of you on the screen of the YouTube video, and you can chime in with us as well. Talk back to us. Let us know what you think. And when we're done with this episode, please make sure you rate us on the podcast. So what was the best, and this is a kind of difficult question, but what was the best moment between any of the characters that you all saw last night? Because I don't usually ask y'all that.
Oh, the best.
Katrina will disagree with me, but I really like the Millie and Olivia scene. It was not.
No, I don't disagree with you at all. I actually like that scene. I just have problems with the character.
Right, but I liked it in the sense that it wasn't so much about Liv being the mistress and Mellie being the wife. It was more about these two women who Liv was like, I'm trying to do my job and I'm trying to help you. And you're not helping me do that. That's why she was like, don't tell me you don't know what I'm talking about. Don't give me that. Because she's like, I am not in the mood. But she was like, I'm here. I'm trying to do my job. You have to help me do this. And then I got the having Mellie say, Liv, you owe me part. I got it and I didn't get it, if that made sense. Like, I get why Mellie would feel that way, but then I was like, no, she doesn't owe you anything. She doesn't owe you anything, Mellie. You, at the end of the day, made all the choices that led you to exactly where you are, regardless of why you made them. You made the choices. So it's not Liv's fault that she just happened to come along and be part of that cycle of choices, because as we all have said, she was 100% on board with the relationship as long as it worked for her.
Right.
So you can't then turn around and go, well, you owe me. It's like, no, I don't owe you because I was doing what you asked me to do. So yeah. But that was my favorite moment between the two characters. That was my favorite moment between two characters.
Katrina?
I would say, what was my favorite moment? I know. I had one little bit that I liked. It was a moment between Jake and Olivia just before he gets into the elevator, before she dismisses him in favor of her father.
Yeah.
Right? At OPA, and he says, you think he's your dad and he loves you. He's just wearing a mask. That's the mask he puts on. It's a role that he plays. But when the mask is off, you better run. And I thought, actually, Jake, that's you. You slept with this woman last night, or the night before in Scandalverse, and you said you felt something for her. But when it came to your business, when it came to B613, the option you went with was to humiliate her in front of her coworkers by grabbing her by the neck and trussing her up against the wall and threatening her that way. There were
not
other
even her coworkers, her employees. Yes, you're right. Not her coworkers, her employees, right? And
you held a gun to the face of another one. You know what? I would have rather him just come up in there like he was Django Unchained with like two guns, like point a gun in her face over that. Me, I'm sorry. I know the thing is, I'm in two minds about this, right? Because people were up in arms about him choking Olivia and all that stuff, and I'm like, I understand that you're upset about that. However, Olivia did a thing. This guy reacted. This is the way he chose to react. I am not saying that is right. I'm saying that in business, that's what that was about. However, when you do something like that in the name of your business, you cannot then flip the script and say, oh yeah, I felt us last night, right? So the next night or later that night, you want to talk to her about, I think it was a first step. You may call it betrayal, girl, but I'm calling it a first step. What you saying? No. To me, he is wearing the mask of pretending to be in love with Olivia, but we see his true colors all the time when he flips that script into B613 mode. This guy can't tell me he grew up with no attachments to his family, then then goes to the military, then joins B613, where he talks about what like a great trained killer he became, and then all of a sudden you fall in love. Sorry, I don't buy it.
There's the problem right there with the great trained killer, just like you said. And it goes back to this thing that I've been having with Liv all season, where she's not seeing people for who they really are.
Yeah.
Jake is a killer. Jake is a killer. Jake is like inviting, a human who's been trained out with the wolves and expecting them to come in the house and have table manners now,
Yeah.
And
that's because she thinks he's going to be like Huck, right? That he can be reformed
but
like
even
Huck.
Huck had to show her, it's a choice. And if you push him too far, if you push him in the wrong direction, they're not going to handle it the way you would expect them to. Right. They're going to handle it with violence because that's how they're trained.
Right.
That's how they punish people. They punish people with violence. So, it's... I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they kind of work out this relationship or lack thereof between them now, because... you've crossed the line. Once that line has been crossed, for him, like you said, he may try to rationalize it out as just a bump in the road, but that's like, in his killer psycho mind. That's not normal. People.
Right.
So,
it's not normal people, right? And we saw last week where she says to him, don't you hear the B613 in your head? And I'm sorry, nobody goes to a woman's apartment drunk and it's like, let me in, when you've never really had a real relationship with that person. You're going to show up at her door. I just have so many problems with that relationship, and I will not buy anything after this point that is romantic between the two of them. Right? So
I never did. How did y'all ever buy anything romantic between them? I never
bought anything. He has been her human masturbatory tool, right? She's a person and she has feelings, and every time that she's like slept with him or kissed him or anything like that, it has been induced by some kind of fear or neediness in her, and not out of any kind of genuine, I really like this person and I want to be with him, right? She either wants to save him from her father because she thought her father was the devil at the time, or she's feeling fucked up in the head about fits, and so she needs, to have some orgasm.
She wants to hide from the world.
Right. Or she's just having a really crappy day and she needs some dick. Like, that's what she's used to, a dick in a box. And I don't know people who are like, yay, oh my God, you should totally be with Jake. I'm just like, I'm worried for you. Like, you make me worried about humanity if, like, that's what you want for Olivia Pope. Like, please.
Yeah.
Go.
But that's what people do when they're needy or lonely. They turn to that person that can give them that physical comfort. But I see what y'all are saying. I tweeted last night.
I'm not mad at her for turning.
I want a timeout.
I'm not mad at it.
I need a timeout in this, and I need to kind of like be the little scale here, the devil's advocate, because
she likes Jake. Whatever.
No. See, you guys don't, and this is why I'm saying it, because you don't understand. It's not I like Jake, but if you take both of these men and both of these relationships and hold them up to the viability scale for relationships, they both are no good. They're both bad.
They both fail.
Fitz is married. Jake is crazy. So,
neither one of them are
it's just like
angels, but one of them
it's like the lesser of two evils. Well, okay, we were at that point, the point when I was actually like, okay, you know what? I kind of like this other thing because I just didn't like the fact that Fitz was married, and I felt like it was very frustrating. I love their chemistry. I love their love. I'm not down on the list, but I don't love the fact because, at the end of the day, to me, a happy ending, there's only two choices. Is he going to divorce his wife and they're going to run off to Vermont? Is that really going to happen? No. Because if that doesn't happen, there is no happy ending. Even if they, say we're going to be friends and they walk away amicably, broken hearts, that's not happy. So if enter, a guy who's actually single and available, it's like, have some fun, do whatever. Not, she's going to marry Jake and they're going to be great. But, make more sense for her to be able to have a relationship that wasn't embroiled in this other person's married life, you know. So,
but my question has always been, what does she get out of sleeping with Jake, knowing that she still has Fitz on a line? Because Fitz is not sleeping with anybody.
It's human behavior. People do this all the time.
So to me, that's like he's accepting of the fact that she will sleep with Jake. And I get that.
It makes her feel bad.
He doesn't.
It does make her feel bad.
Let me finish. You know. But at the end of the day, she is still spreading her thighs for two different men. And to me, that's the point that I don't like. Like, if you're gonna love Fitz, be with Fitz. If you're gonna want to fuck with Jake, leave Fitz alone. I mean, just either way, stop opening your legs to both of them. That's what I find messy about it.
But you know what? She can't be with Fitz. So basically,
I think she hedges her bets, you know.
Yeah, you know, she's holding
I'm talking about sexually, and she was clearly with Fitz a couple episodes ago, probably 3 or 4 episodes ago. So I'm just saying sexually. Even if you go out with Jake and you like having a good time with Jake, cool. But you don't have to sleep with Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a necessity. So that's just my issue.
I just feel like that's her sexual prerogative. If that's what she thinks.
Yeah, it really is. For me personally, I just don't like it.
All right, Olivia. I can't say that I would do it. But then again, I have not been in that situation. You know, if that's how she works her kinks out. Like, Olivia doesn't go to therapy. Olivia doesn't have friends that she talks to that come over and make her feel better when she's lonely. So that's what she does when she's lonely.
She has Abby.
Because she has an absent. She and Abby, like, just really, like, this season started connecting. And I wanted to say that I actually skipped over that because that was actually one of my other really favorite things about this episode, is that Abby was really protective of Olivia.
Yeah, she was.
You know what I mean? Getting in Rowan's face, what do you want with her? You know, really looking out for Olivia, calling him despicable, which, you know, no one else, like, gets to do. So I was like, go Abby. She's a real advocate for Olivia ever since, I think it was 307 when she forced her into that hug, because she realized, holy shit, your life is not right, and somebody needs to be there for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we've discussed that part enough. All right. So, how did the plot, Oh my gosh, I'm so bad today, y'all. I'm sorry.
I think you're on. Are we on number 6? I think we're on number 6.
Yeah, it just went all the way up. So, how does the title of the episode reflect the plot and character motivations of Flesh and Blood?
Well, immediately when I thought about Flesh and Blood, like, 2 things kind of came to mind. One was the obvious kind of, like, family element of it, right? Like, this is my flesh and blood, like, this is my kids. And there's been a lot about family this season, particularly around family and loyalty have been the kind of key themes over the season. And that, I think, definitely played out in the episode with the whole paternity test stuff and wanting to, you know, to know all that. And then also Flesh and Blood in terms of the bomb, right? That at the end of the day, we're all reduced to flesh and blood, like our humanity. And I think that played out in various ways throughout the episode, whether it was, you know, and that means all of our frailties and all of our horribilosity as well. I know that's a made-up word, but I really like it. Right? Yes, horribilosity. Because humans, the history of humans, we're terrible people. Like, we are really kind of awful. And I think a lot of times
for them 3 on that side of the podcast, I'm wondering.
They're awful. And I think ignore that fact is ignore the history of what it means to be human. But and you know,
I must be involved like Darwinism. I am awesome. You know, I'm just playing, Katrina. Go ahead.
No, because, like, how many times on Scandal have we heard the term, or even Shonda Rhimes refer to people as monsters, right? Oh, you're a monster. Monster. And a monster is something that is outside of nature. But this episode was all about human nature. So nobody's a monster in this, right? Because at the end, they're all humans, right?
Right.
So they're all susceptible to doing either really great things or really horrible things. And we saw that in various degrees throughout the episode. So whether it's, Jerry being susceptible to sex by this girl who was obviously using him, or it's, Mellie's humanity kind of breaking down, or Olivia extending a kindness to her out of her own humanity. Everybody was kind of reduced to the flesh and blood element at some point in this episode. Even Rowan, right? For all of his big and badness, he gets stabbed by Maya by the end of the episode.
I just knew when I saw that, I was like, Katrina is dancing in her living room right now, like that little baby, that wooga chaka wooga. I just knew it. I said, Katrina is dancing in her living room right now. I see that.
Let me tell you something. I started writing an essay in episode 302 that I abandoned because I said, I need more information, and it was all about really kind of the patriarchal kind of back and forth of Olivia between Fitz and her father, and really about how Rowan, as a black patriarch, if you will, is upholding white American supremacy and patriarchy, right? But when he's on the outside of that, he is disempowered, right, and reduced to a weaker state. And the fact that Olivia will not wrest control of her life until he dies. Right. I started writing that shit in 302. I have it on my computer to prove it. So I was like, he has to die in order for Olivia to move on. Yeah. So when he got stabbed, I mean, I don't know if they're going to make him die or what. We'll see. But Joe Morton has a new show with my girl, Jennifer Beals, so he's probably going to die, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't dancing all over the place, but I was like, yeah, he has to die.
Well, all the running that they're telling Olivia to do in these episodes, I'm like, this lady need a sneaker commercial. Like, she needs an endorsement for sneakers because everybody is telling her to run. Like, you got Jake, you got the daddy, you got the mom. I'm like, God dang, like,
Yeah.
Run.
All white.
Flesh and Blood, for me, I looked at it more like I kind of wondered why the hell they took that hair off of Dimitri and gave it why Abby took it off. So I've been wondering for a while actually if Olivia was Rowan's, like if she wasn't actually Dimitri's. But I'm like, well, it wouldn't make sense, but maybe it would, because all the angst that he has outside of the fact that he was the cuckold in the relationship could be attributed to that. You just never know. That
would make sense why he treats her the way he treats her.
Yeah, but didn't they cut the hair off and give it to Leo? Because Abby gave it to the dad, and then the dad called Leo and said, I'm sending over a sample.
Yeah. But so how would they ever know if that was, that he couldn't possibly be a match, though? That makes no sense.
But they rigged it. Then remember, Abby went and paid the guy off, and he said it's not a match, and she said, yes, it is.
Yeah.
And then they showed the guy calling Leo, and Leo giving Sally the test results.
Right.
It makes no sense.
Well, this is how I rationalize it. If I could, like, Elde'a, I think you're right. This is how I rationalize it. That Rowan was, I mean, it could be deliberately, obfuscated so that maybe it is partly for Olivia. Maybe it is also partly to help Olivia by getting Leo and Sally off the trail, right? So
yeah,
this is the thing. They submit. Rowan tells Leo that, hey, I've got that presidential DNA you asked me to get for you, but it's obviously Dimitri's hair. It goes to the lab. Now, Abby goes and pays it off so that it's a match. They don't, because but this is the thing, Leo and Sally and also Rowan and even Olivia are thinking that it might be Andrews, right? So that's the person that they're thinking is the possibility. Nobody is thinking that it's Big Jerry. But the thing is, like, it doesn't, if it's a match.
DNA done anyway. She did it anyway.
No, that was later. This is the thing. Mellie spoke to her doctor about getting a possible paternity test. She didn't actually send out for the test, right?
Right.
Leo and Sally got wind of that, so they wanted to get evidence so that they could get ahead of the story. So they had to be thrown off the scent with their thing, and so they fooled them to thinking, look, it's a match, everything's fine, don't worry about that angle. But Olivia says to Mellie, if you still want that done, I can get that done for you, right? So that's something else, and that's what we see Mellie opening at the end of the episode, right?
I still kind of think at the end of the day that this has something to do with Olivia and her.
It could very well be.
I don't know
It could very well be.
But
we don't know, because I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, it was deliberately, like, Scandal does that sometimes. You see the optics of something, but it could be sort of like really taken apart. You're not really sure what it is that you saw because you didn't see the full story. Like, that's the whole point of this show is about how optics are everything, but what's really going on is something different.
Who was the MVP for this episode?
Wait! I haven't answered the last two
questions. Go ahead, Olivia. Jeez.
Well,
your voice is so loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't tell, but I'm like, all right. I'm sitting here waiting for my pound of flesh, and I'm like,
no, you need to jump in and interrupt us. Good Lord. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go on.
All right. Well, for me, the pound of flesh, I felt like everyone in this episode was out for a pound of flesh. Everyone had something that they were out to get, and then in the end, her blood, which is her father, right? His blood was spilled by her own flesh, which is her mother. You know, so it was just kind of like symbolic, you know, that at the end, it was her flesh and blood that drew blood from her own blood, you know.
Oh my God. You know what else? There's like a biblical thing here too, with flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. And in Genesis, I think, whatever, I guess it's God, you know, with the whole creation, Adam's rib, you know, creating woman from Adam, and that's where you get the flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood thing, and it says that a husband will leave his family and cleave to his wife. A husband loves his wife as himself, and then we have wife killing husband or ex-husband or whatever it was.
Right.
Like,
and the other wife trying to tank her husband's career.
Yes, that's right. Yes. I want him to burn.
Yeah.
You know, carry the cross now. So yeah.
She almost couldn't contain herself. She was so excited about that part. And see his face.
Oh. I can't.
And then also with Olivia, with Mama Pope saying, "Bring my daughter home." You have that part. Where she's like, "Bring my child here."
Where's my baby? Right.
I thought that was interesting. Elde'a, did you go? Because I don't want to get yelled at. Like,
no, go ahead. They covered it.
All right, who is the MVP for this episode?
I'll go first on this one. For me, it was Bellamy. She's really been my MVP for this entire season, I have to say.
Really?
It is not, yes, it's not easy to play drunk and not have it come off as like sloppy or too funny or too over the top. She's really kind of got it. I mean, she's just walking around with that glass, and you know that scene with her, Fitz, and Cyrus, where she's literally now drinking in front of people. Like, she's not even hiding it. You know what I mean? They're in front, you know, they're in the room, and she's in there just drinking, just drunk
all day long.
Maybe Miss Debbie Allen helped her out with that, you know. She directed this episode. Had to get that plug in.
Yeah. But also, my other MVP was Olivia. It was kind of nice to see her be Olivia for an episode, to see her kind of take charge or try to take charge.
Well, who's she been for the other episodes, Elde'a? Shakwanisha? Yeah. Who's she been? Like,
this season, we all agree she's kind of been off her game. She's kind of been off her game.
That's true.
So it was nice to see her kind of, even when she was in the room with all the men, with Jake and Fitz and Cyrus and her dad.
The full patriarchy.
Right? She was still, she stood up. She got about that chair and was like, "No, what are you doing? What do you mean? I did what I had to do." You know, so that they were my two MVPs.
You had two? Look at that.
She said you had two.
I had you go, and then we'll get Katrina.
1A and 1B.
All right. Cyrus Bean was my MVP because at the end you saw who was pulling all the strings, so that's who I don't know. I have a thing for Cyrus. I have like this love, hate type relationship with Cyrus. But I love him.
Dirty.
I couldn't hear nothing you said. What did you say? What was that last part?
Oh no, I said I have a love, hate relationship with him, but I love him most of the time.
Katrina, who was yours?
Abby. I just really enjoyed her this episode. Yeah, Abby.
Abby had 3 scenes, right?
Yeah.
Is it
3, 4?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
liked her.
Yeah.
I think my MVP was Cyrus as well. I am all, like how Elde'a says she was all about Melly this season. I love Cyrus. I think, that's my dog. Me and Cy. I can do Cy's job. I'm not even playing. Y'all be like, Jaha, that's you. That's me. Kill him dead. Like, I can do Cy's job. I have no problems with it. Who is the person that you least love this episode? Your least favorite character?
Harrison.
And that was not Jaha.
Every week.
I'm sorry. I can't. I said it last week. The storyline has been a complete epic fail. I can't get on board with it. At the end, he's going to the warehouse by himself. I mean, I can't.
Worthless.
Harris.
I'm not going to tell y'all, somebody on Twitter said last night, now who let the black man go to a warehouse by his damn self? Like, don't they always know that the black man is the first one to die? Like, I think that was your friend Katrina Spector script. I think that was her. But I laughed so hard when she said that. I was like, really? Okay. So yeah, who was your least favorite, Katrina?
Jake. Yeah.
Oh.
But I already said why, like, earlier. Why I'm not here for it. So I won't. So. What
did you say why you didn't want yours least favorite was Harrison, Olivia?
He's just worthless. It's so I think because I'm so disappointed in his worthlessness, and how many times is Adnan gonna get you? Like, how many times?
Yes.
Y'all see, he told y'all he was scared of her. Now you understand. She done stepped him in the neck with a needle.
You need to step your preparedness skills up. You need to step your game up. I just don't understand.
Run into that? He didn't expect it. I don't even know why I'm playing devil's advocate. Cause
I don't know either. Because it's terrible. I'm like, no.
I am not a Harrison fan. I have to agree with you, Katrina. I'm on board with the whole Jake thing. Like, I've never been here for Jake, and I never will be, because I just personally believe that Jake is scum. So I just can't. And the fact that he did that in front of everybody, saying, oh, yeah, you slept with me for the information. Why did you need to do that? Like, it was so unnecessary. I thought it was embarrassing and degrading. Like, you're saying in front of all of these. And it was more so to get a jab at Fitz. It really wasn't for any other purpose. That's how I felt anyway. I'm like, you're just doing this to hurt Fitz. And then it was just too much. I didn't like it. So yeah, it was my least favorite.
I think it was to hurt him, and also to he was trying to slut shame her essentially. Like, oh, you know how she got this information, how she was able to do this by unzipping my pants. And it's like, ugh, you're gross. Get out of here.
Yeah. So we do have some comments here. I'm going to read them, and y'all can respond. Please, please, please talk about the podium stage scene with Fitz, Melly, and Liv. Fitz says, I've been a bad boy. That's not even Harlow.
Yes. That's actually one of my favorite lines from that, which was actually from Melly, which is like, if we're going to die, can we do it now so I don't have to listen to it?
That was one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah, that's too much.
It was so cute and funny, and I just loved it. I was like, see, this is like the one time you guys work as a trio.
Yeah.
So, what about your favorite 2 quotes from this episode, Elde'a?
Favorite 2, Harrison, I said it earlier, the scene, but the Harrison when he's like, "Can I call you Papa Pope? Papa Pope, Papa Pope." Like, that was hilariously funny. And then the whole Fitz Melly scene at the end, that entire conversation was quotable. I mean, when he's like, I've been a bad boy. She was like, yes, you have. Don't try to change the subject. And Millie was like, okay, can we please? Like, but the Millie one was the one at the end. And she's like, if we're going to, that was funny.
I also like Cyrus.
Oh, go ahead.
Mint.
What were you saying, Katrina?
I also like that scene because before Olivia got there, Cyrus offered her some breath mints. He's like, "Are you drunk?"
Yeah.
Which, remember when she tried to offer Fitz breath mints, like on the way to the baby christening?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Is it?
Sorry.
Yeah. So I already did that other line, but my other favorite line was oh God, there were two. Quinn saying it when she came back from dropping off the body. She was like, "It was safer than bringing along two bickering little bitches."
That's what
I just like she said that about Huck and Charlie because they were like having a pissing contest. Like, good God.
The quote also when she said to Abby and Harrison, "It's good to see you two can get your own coffee now."
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah. She's like, "I'm not your little bitch girl anymore."
What were your favorite ones, Olivia? Did you finish, Katrina?
Oh, there was just one more. I really enjoyed hearing Olivia Pope for the very first time say, "I'm black."
Yes!
Why are y'all so surprised at that? Y'all act like she didn't know it. She watched
No. Not that she didn't know it. But just like she's like, the NAACP is not supporting Sally Langston. She's like, have you met Sally? I'm black.
Exactly.
Not supporting that.
That part I was all in agreement with. I'm like, exactly. But Sally is like, ugh. What about you, Olivia? What were your two?
I liked when Liv was talking to her dad, and she goes, "Wet work is not done here." It was just like I love that word for some reason. I don't know why. I'm a weirdo, but when she said wet work, I was like, yes, it's not done here. But what's going on? Right. And then when Quinn, with her little flip self, was like, it's handled. She's just I was feeling Quinn this episode also, but
I was too.
I don't like badass Quinn. Doesn't work for me.
I don't love badass Quinn, but I liked her more this episode. I think it's she's getting there. Wherever she's gonna be, wherever she's going, she's getting there.
Yeah.
To me, it just comes off as bratty Quinn. Like I'm not here for it. Well, my favorite ones were Melly, you ready? And she was like, to be blown up. Yes, Fitz. Like I thought that was hilarious. And then one was Bring My Baby Home Now when Mama Pope said that. And then also, I guess my MVP would be Mama Pope too on this episode. And then the last one would be when she was like, bye, Dominic. Like,
yeah.
I was like, Dominic. He was like, wait, Maya.
Maya. Cold.
Don't hang up. You're going to kill me for real.
Yeah.
Cold. Ice cold.
I thought that was good. So yeah, Mama Pope would be in one of my MVP slots because she did it this episode. She was playing zero games with anybody. She's like, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm about to blow this nigga up, and I'm about to stab this one, and he's going to die, and I'm going out of the country on my own little safari. I might take a little me. So
I'm going to have to add her to my MVP list. I should have selected her because she also had like a really awesome moment with that Ivan Yushkov guy when he's going on his like anti-American tirade and America will learn. And she's like, we got it.
Who was the character or the moment that you all could relate to most in this episode?
I didn't have
that. Was a dead pin drop silence. It was like, nope.
I had nobody.
Anybody?
Nobody. Like relatable moment. There were lots of like interesting moments, but I didn't know that I felt like related or like really connected to a moment personally.
I was connected to when Olivia was on the floor and trying to save her dad from dying. I thought that was that was something for me. It triggered for me. I was like, wow, yeah, if your parent is on the floor, no matter what the hell they've done, said, or acted like to you towards, in your life, you're going to want them not to die. And I think even if Mama Pope was on that floor, she would have done the same thing because she wants their parents to die. So to me, that was the most relatable moment for me, anyway.
That's true.
What was the most out of character thing anybody did this episode for y'all?
Papa Pope getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Really?
That's not out of character in my opinion, to be honest, because he never did handle any of those details. He never did do any of his own work. Like Jake makes it a point to say that he does it. Papa Pope didn't have a gun. Like he didn't have a gun. He didn't have no knife. They at the table. That was a weapon of convenience. He don't carry nothing on him.
That was a steak knife.
Yeah, but he always knew when somebody was following him, though. He knew when Huck was following him. He knew when, someone was around him. So to me, just to... Huh?
He knew Mama Pope was walking in the door before she came in. You could see that on his face.
Exactly. So why would you sit there? You knew she was coming. How did you let her stab you? How did
she is out of character?
It's like, come on now. We know who this is. You let your guard down. She's killed you.
I think that's part of the thing is that he does let his guard down a bit, like with her. I mean, he could have harmed her before. He could have had her killed. He didn't have to have her put away for 22 years. So he does have some kind of feeling for her. She is a little bit of an Achilles heel. She is his flaw, as Melly would say.
Yeah.
So I can see how that would happen.
Yeah, I agree. That was the most out of character thing because he is pretty on top of it when it comes to certain things. What do you think, Elde'a? What was your most out of character person or moment?
I was gonna say Melly drinking in public because I feel like no matter what has happened, she's always been interested in keeping up the facade of her
appearances.
Do you think that was reckless of her?
Yes. So her like idiot, and you're not reckless. And she's like, just whatever. Let me know because I get to stand by my man. She was like, so to me, that was kind of out of character for her to just slosh in public in front of everybody, not
in the daytime.
Yes,
right.
That was a total change from when she leaned on the table
of alcohol. It's like,
yeah, very unmelly like. She is coming undone. And I'm here for it because it needs to happen.
All she wanted was a piece of thing on the side, and they denied her that little bit of happiness. That little bit of
angry.
I'm just saying, like, Melly wanted to get the thing beat down, and y'all just denied her, and she needed that in her life. That was the one thing. I mean, she didn't want no damn kids. Melly just wanted some sex. Like, she's like, no commitment. Get it in me. That's all I need right now.
But she denied Fitz, so what turnabout fair play in season 1, episode 1?
She didn't want that crusty penis. She wanted new penis. Sometimes you gotta recruit. You can't be having all of that. She didn't want that.
No, but it's crusty. The season 1 finale, what did she say to Liv? She said, I'm gonna have to take my husband back. So
she didn't want him. She just
essentially did the same thing to Fitz. She
wants her power. She don't want none of that penis. She don't. Lord, Aisha Nathaniel says that she agrees with Katrina. Liv sleeping with Jake is not about her heart. He will never have that because it's Fitz's. And then she says she also thinks that Liv was honestly done with Jake after he came to the door. She only slept with him to get the information.
I really heard her. Right. Exactly. And he's just trying to like.
Yeah. That's why he acted like an ass.
Yeah. That's what he does. I just really hope that goodbye this time is really goodbye.
It's really goodbye, yeah.
Third time she said goodbye, Jake.
I feel like she's sorting it out, though, because I feel like Jake represents for her the what if. I feel like there's always that part of her that's always like, what if
the door barked exit?
Yes, what if I wasn't waiting for him to figure out how we can be together. Jake kind of represents that for her, so it's like and that's why she said what she said, I love him, and it felt like a betrayal. because she's sorting out that she does love him, and that is who she wants to be with, and that is what her heart is and her soul, and she needs to figure out how to make peace with that.
That's mighty damn convenient, if you ask me. All of a sudden, now that Huck asks you to do something that you're uncomfortable with, now your ethics are all in an uproar, and your panties are all in a twist, and you don't want to give up the sweet thighs to this man because now you don't feel like it? No, you just didn't want Huck to tell you, go ahead, lay down, and get that thing beat down by Jake so that you can now, no, I don't agree with that.
But Huck didn't tell her to go lay down with him. He told her to get the information, right? But she knew she knew the best tool. She could have picked Adnan, although Adnan did have sex with Harrison to weaken him before she then put the needle in. Because men, at the end of the day, are flesh and blood. They're just susceptible. They need that thing.
That pound of flesh, girl.
That's crazy. What were your favorite tweets from last night? Do any of you have any?
Well, I like Kerry Washington send out a tweet. It's true, I'm black.
Were we just talking about black checking the last episode? Yeah. So I was like, yay!
Yeah. And one of my favorite.
Well, not last episode, the last podcast.
Yeah. Then at Reign of April says, are we going to discuss how Harrison walked into an empty warehouse alone to find the woman who he knew drugged him? Or nah?
No, we're not
nah.
One of my favorite ones was from @Beerman, and he said, "National security crisis, murder, and etc." And Jake's calling to ask, "Do you like me? I think you really like me."
Hilarious.
That was one of my favorites. Yeah.
Do you have any, Katrina?
No, I never have any. I haven't been on Twitter all day. No.
Well, I have a few. I'll make up for you.
Have some.
Good. Oh, good. Okay. So Langston, the B-side, he says, Lord, take me now, Papa Pope, no! And his hashtag is practicing cough and dive. I'm like, boy. So then we had, we talked about, I don't know what happened to Olivia, but she'll probably be back. Femme Politic, she said, we don't even know Harrison's backstory. Adnan was supposed to help with that, but the writers just said, nah, we're good. I laughed so hard at that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Ink Pink says, it's a wonder Melly's been able to keep it together for 15 years. Who's my baby daddy? I'm like, oh, that's so sad.
It's true.
Then they tweeted out a picture of Fitz and Jerry, little Jerry, and said,
the guys like him.
Hashtag National Siblings Day. I'm like,
yeah,
for real.
Oh, that's up. People are wrong for that.
There were so many. It was so hilarious. All I could do was laugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my set of tweets of crazy. What was your favorite outfit from tonight's show? We know y'all always have the favorite outfits picked out.
Not anything Kerry Washington was wearing.
God dang, man. How you trying to shade her like that?
No.
Pregnant women might like her stuff. You tripping.
No.
That was straight shade up here.
It was like
nothing she had on.
Come on.
I actually like that thing a little bit. It was not my favorite thing, but I think of the pregnancy hiding outfit she's wearing, which I'm not really going to even get into that this episode. But that one, I kind of liked it a little bit, as opposed to some of the other stuff that she's worn. Or I'm like,
good point.
You don't say no, because you just.
No, I said good point, but it still was like it was.
I don't know what Lynn Paolo was thinking, but that shit was hideous. Treating her like Jake from State Farm. So what were your favorite ones then, since you hated Olivia's clothes?
The Abby one, when she was standing over the dead body, those pants were like...
I have the same thing!
Oh my god!
And the belt! The chain
belt! Yes! I was like, ooh, that's... Yeah, that was my favorite one. I was like, I need those.
That was mine. That was mine. I actually like Melly's purple and pink combination too. That purple, she looks so good in jewel tones.
Yeah.
Like when Lynn Paolo happened upon that kind of palette for her, very good thing. So I like that outfit. Her drunk outfit. I was feeling it.
Yeah.
But when you think about that, don't you also think drunk in love when you see Melly all slosh like that? I've been drinking because she has feelings for Andrew. You know, she does have feelings for Andrew.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're love, but you know, I do see
I don't know
something
about that.
there.
No, I think Andrew was there to make Melly feel better about herself and realize her value. Well, essentially, like I've said before, to be her fluffer this season, and really to be a catalyst towards her changing something in her life, which she needs to do, because she needs to stop seeing herself as a victim. Because in all of her interactions with people, that's what she is, and I'm tired of it.
But she did that even this episode.
Well, that's why I found that scene really problematic, because even as much as she made herself vulnerable to Olivia in a lot of ways, it was still, look at me, the great Saint Melly, who has sacrificed everything I've done has been for this man. And it's like, Melly, that's not the whole truth. And until you tell that to yourself, you're never going to be able to move on and take your chance. Stop thinking that people use as something that you're supposed to be given. You made that choice however many years ago to get on board with that. So now it's your time to take your motherfucking chance instead of waiting there for Fitz or somebody else to give it to you. Stop it.
Right.
And it's also very easy to hide when you don't have somebody around who knows your secret. Keep in mind, no one has known except for Andrew, and he wasn't in the picture. And so it's hard. It's very easy to hide when you don't have that person staring back at you every day, knowing why you are who you are.
But that'll probably... Oh, go ahead.
No, but I'm saying now that Andrew's come back into the picture, it's like he knows what Fitz doesn't know, so she can't hide with him. She can't pretend with him because he knows the truth.
It's always there, staring back at her. It's constantly around. She can't pretend as easily as she could before. It's been made more difficult for her now. Yeah.
But
she's coming undone.
Kind of see that as the evolution of her character. We see her in this place right now, but maybe over the course of time, her character will evolve and become the, not the victim, because she is playing victim now. She's been playing victim for a while.
She's been doing it for a while. But this is what I'm saying, like, this is culminating in a moment that I really hope that there is, obviously everything is not going to be resolved in the finale. So anybody out there right now, before you get angry at 11 o'clock next week,
next Thursday,
finales, I think they resolve some things, but they also
bigger cliffhanger
up storylines for the fourth season, right? To me, that's how I see their job. And there are people who feel like, no, every I should be dotted, every T crossed before it ends and we start someplace new. But whatever, that's just how I'm seeing things differently. So I need for there to be some movement with her in the finale, even if we don't see that full evolution until season 4. I need her to start to get her life. I really do. Because it's come to a head where it's just that relationship is no longer tenable, and I'm not sure how it's going to play out between the two of them. And I actually predict that either it will be ambiguous about Fitz, whether or not Fitz is Jerry's father, or he will definitely be Jerry's father.
I was going to say, someone posed that question on Twitter. Is it better if he is the father or not the father? I think a lot of people are expecting him not to be the father. And for me, I kind of want him to be the father.
No, so do I.
Because then it makes everything else that's happened that much more important. I feel like if you make it to where Jerry's the father, it's such a cop-out.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, oh, well, it's not my kid, and you yet another thing you lied to me about, and yada. So I need for Fitz to be the father.
Too easy, and it's also what Melly wants, right? Because she said that she has the one piece of information that will destroy him, and that's not so much the rape; it's about his kid, because that's directly connected to Fitz.
And if it's his, she'll have to deal with the fact that she's been a terrible mother.
Right.
You know, she sent this kid away because of what happened, but
and never had, and probably never had the maternal instincts towards him in the way that she did with Karen. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I know people have struggled with fitting the rape in with some of the previous things that we've been given. But if we remember in that very, very typical Melly speech in, I think, Molly, You and Danger Girl 218, where she talks about pretending is what's real. And she says, everybody pretends. You pretend that your husband's jokes are funnier than they are. You pretend that you like your in-laws when you don't, right? Big Jerry. You pretend that you don't love one of your children more than the other, right? So Karen over Jerry, because she's just never been sure about him. So that, to me, all of that makes sense now with everything that's afterwards. So I really want Fitz to be the father. I really hate this whole kind of, paternity test storyline that there is. It's not my favorite thing, but whatever, if it's a part of the catalyst of this thing with Melly and Fitz, which has actually been one of my favorite storylines of the entire third season, is finding out about the Grant marriage and the complexity of that, and really getting some movement on it. And we got some in 315, but it's still shrouded in kind of obfuscation, because Fitz doesn't really know what happened. He's going off of certain information. So please, next episode, I need there to be some really good movement in that, and I want to know, how is Olivia going to be a part of this, right? Because right now she's kind of on Melly's side, but she doesn't have the full information, and Fitz doesn't have the full information either, and she's kind of in the middle of this. And she really should not be.
And I wonder how Operation Honesty is going to work with her and Fitz, being that they're supposed to now be honest with each other about everything, and she's holding this detail back from him. And it's not really her place to even tell him, because it's not something she needs to be involved in. But I kind of just feel like it's going to blow up in her face anyway, even though it's not something she should be involved in anyway. Because you see when, I remember, everybody remembers, when she walked in and they were having that conversation and Fitz was like, I'm talking to my wife. There's certain things that she doesn't have an entrance to, and she shouldn't. So that part is interesting, because I don't know where they're going to take that either. Elde'a, do you have any predictions or thoughts for the next episode?
Well, seeing as how it's the finale, I'm excited to see it, because I feel like last season's finale, there was so much anticipation and hype, and I know a lot of people felt really let down by it. And I feel like this is kind of going the same way because of the episode being cut. I agree with Katrina. I feel like everyone's expecting everything to sort of be wrapped up in this nice little box with this nice little bow on top, and I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think she's going to leave a lot of cliffhangers out there, and also because I think it's interesting, I don't think she knows what's going to happen with the show. And what I mean by that is there are a lot of characters on the show. Are they going to start cutting people? Are they going to cut people down? Because, everyone's a contract player. Are you going to switch some people back to reoccurring? How soon are they going to be able to get back and filming? Are we going to get more episodes next season because this season was cut short? All those things I think haven't yet been figured out, and so I'm interested to see how they wrote the finale, really not knowing what season 4 is going to bring, not storyline wise but production wise, if that makes sense.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I am probably most interested in seeing all y'all again. Like, that's just fun. So I know it's going to be before next season. That's a long time. And y'all don't know how to stay in touch, because Elde'a don't even want to respond to a tweet. So.
Okay,
Girl, send that to my inbox. DM me. Like. But no, I am interested in finding out exactly how Olivia is going to navigate the waters with her mom. I want to see if her mom was actually hurt with the showdown between her and Papa Pope. Not quite sure, but I don't think that Papa Pope would just stand there and be like, ooh, stab me, ooh again. No, I And he's a man, you know what I'm saying? So I don't see her having gotten away scot-free. Like, we didn't get to see anything go on, you know, other than watching Olivia down on the floor. But what if there was a blood trail? What if there, you know, but she didn't even see it, even if there was. But she probably wasn't paying attention. Anyway, whatever. You get what I'm saying. I want to know what happened with Mama Pope and what the outcome of that was. I definitely don't care about Adnan, Salif, and Harrison. They could both die in that same explosion. Look, don't care. Like, I just don't. And then for Abby and David, that was the scene we didn't discuss, how David almost pissed his pants when he saw Jake sitting in that chair. Which was hilarious to me. He's like, oh, I gotta go. Like, I can't talk to you now. And Jake was like, didn't I tell you? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't want no problems. And we did, like, last episode, we talked about the fact that Jake walked in and David was there when he had, you know, when he grabbed up Olivia. I was like, oh, that's not going to be good for David. So, David is one of my favorite characters, so I hope nothing crazy ends up happening to him. But I doubt it, because I think Jake sees him more as a tool than an adversary. And then what else do I want to see wrapped up in the finale? I know that everything's not going to be wrapped up, because as a writer and as a storyteller for this type of thing, you have to have dangling plots to make people interested enough to watch the next episode, because that's why I do my books the way I do. I leave them off on a cliffhanger so you can read the next season, because you have to. You want people to stay engaged. Like, love my characters, girl. Love them. So that's how I feel. But anyway, next episode of the Scandal Podcast, we will be joined by A-Team, B-Team, and we have a couple of guests that will also be on. We're having back our Rodimus Prime from The Black Guy Who Tips. And I am going to invite Jocelyn from my Love, Sex, Cupid podcast, because she watches Scandal also. So we're going to have a full house on the panel next week for the party. We're having a party. So
I better practice how to be concise for this.
Right, I know.
Oh, no. You and Langston need to sit in the corner together. Because I'm like, this is going to be interesting next week when Langston gets on here and Katrina's on here. I'm like, oh, Lord,
it is going to be extra. There might be, I'm really interested to see how this goes. I might
Should we just forward all of our Should we just forward all of our answers and let you speak for the A-Team, Katrina?
No! Elde'a said, I ain't coming. Elde'a said, I'm not coming. So look here. Like,
not fair. I'm just saying she can do all the talking.
No. I'm going to do more listening next week than talking, unless I feel like I have.
No, you are not going to listen. You're going to talk
unless
all right.
The points got to be proven.
Unless the points got to be proven, that's when I'll come in. Otherwise, keep the party going.
Well, we are missing our Olivia. We don't know what happened, but
I know, it's sad.
Yeah, she's gone for a second. I don't know what happened. I tweeted her, so I haven't heard back. But next week we will be joined by the A-Team, the B-Team, and our two guests for the finale. So if you all are watching, listening, whatever the case may be, make sure you tweet us at Scandal Podcast. And that is the Twitter account. You can also tweet one of the panelists that will be on with us. And all of their information is in the show notes at jahaknight.com/Scandal Podcast. All their Twitter accounts and everything. You can follow them. If you love what they had to say, you can comment and tweet them and all that good stuff. But make sure you all rate us in iTunes so that we can start climbing up and other people can see the podcast. Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. I appreciate it.
I have one thing to say. I forgot to tell you guys about it. I don't know if you saw, but some people let me know last night that the New Yorker magazine did an article about what is a basic bitch, and one of my posts about like basic bitches who watch Scandal was linked in that article.
No! Oh, it was. Congratulations, Katrina.
That's amazing.
That is awesome.
It's kind of silly.
I'm clapping for you. I don't want to, do it on the the audio, but I'm clapping for you.
Oh, thanks. I was like, oh my God.
And before we go, Lorna Lamont said Elde'a actually changed my mind on the Melly Olivia conversation because I did feel Olivia owed her something. So there you go, Elde'a. You changing minds and stuff,
you,
girl.
Elde'a. You go, girl.
Thank you.
And speaking of the basic bitches thing, we are actually, the first time I ever heard that was from blackgirlsareeasy.com, and we're actually doing a show tomorrow with him on Love, Sex, and Cupid, the guy that runs that blog. So I can't wait.
They may have been quoted in that article because
was he? Yeah.
It was an anthropological examination of what exactly is the basic bitch. How many types of basic bitches are there? What is the evolution of the basic bitch? It was kind of hilarious as well as informative. Like they took it seriously, but not without humor. So I'd encourage people to read it.
Yeah.
All right. So thank y'all. That has been the Scandal Podcast for the evening. Y'all have a good night.
Bye, guys.